What is reality? Reality is what we believe to be true about the nature of our surroundings. But how do we come to decide that true nature? Do we conceive it completely on our own? Or do other devices gently sway our thoughts onto a pre-decided path? This is the hard question we must all ask ourselves as free humans on this planet. New sculpts your reality.
Reality. Fuck it, we'll do it live!
Alright.
Hey, good night. Happy New Year's, everybody. How you doing out there?
Good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. We're live here. It's Wednesday night, maybe Thursday morning where you are. Blowing up the internet all around the world.
Or maybe it's like, feel me on this, maybe it's like 3 months ago, but on an alternate timeline. So we're actually talking about stuff that happened 3 months ago in an alternate timeline. It's pretty fucking rad.
Could be. That would be pretty zooly, huh?
I gotta tell you, man, it's like...
The possibilities are endless.
I hope this year brings, like, a step away from the cult bullshit, man. I was fucking so tired of this shit.
Well, damn,
really,
I was just thinking about starting a cult. You know, but you know what? There's been enough of these doomsday cults. Like, that's what's old. You know, like, you know what I think we need is a good old-fashioned Temple of Bacchus. You know, like, we've had enough doomsday cults, we've had enough mass suicides, we've had enough alien worshippers. Like, why can't we just have a cult dedicated to, like, partying and, like, music and, like, wine and boobs? Like, why can't we just have that?
There's gotta be some out there.
I'm saying, well, I haven't found one.
Well, so start it up, dude.
We may have to start one.
I ain't starting no fucking cult. Fuck it. Anyway, man.
I'm
serious, man. I'm just getting burnt out on all of it, man. Like, cause look, you know what else I'm sick of? Goddamn aliens. I'm sick of aliens, man. Coming around with the goddamn anal probe.
You starting to get racist towards aliens, though?
I am, man. I am. What is that called again?
I think this is how the Terran Empire gets started. if I'm correct.
I'm just sick of everybody and the agendas, man. It's just it's burning me out, guys. It's burning me out. So what I'm saying is, I hope this year brings a whole lot of less of that bullshit.
Although we have an agenda of our own, right? We are 4 subscribers away from 500. So if you're out there and you want to be that 500 subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, or get somebody else to subscribe, and tell them that if they email us and tell us that they're subscriber number 500 on YouTube, then we will send them a free a rare Pepe sticker. We can't tell you which one, but we've got a few left.
No. Speaking of which, you guys, the prizes are coming out very soon. Sorry, I haven't shipped them yet. It's just been real, man. It's been real hard.
Yep.
Been sick. It's been the holidays. Fucking work. You know.
His medical nanites aren't working the way they should be.
So what do we got up on the agenda tonight, Dan? Now that we just blabbed away.
Well, categories. We've got, let's see, mind crime, UFO videos, conspiracy and culture, artificial intelligence on the rampage. It came from outer space, and it came from planet Earth.
I'll take artificial intelligence on the rampage for 6, Dan.
And, of course, the last category, which is actually pretty quick. I'm not in a fucking cult.
I'm not in a fucking cult.
I'm not in a fucking cult.
I'm not in a fucking cult. What about you?
No.
I'm not in a fucking
He's
cult.
not in a fucking
Fishman's
cult.
not in a cult.
Fishman is definitely not in a cult.
So, alright, so we're going to AIs, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, well, so what happens when you find out that AIs have learned how to cheat? Those shady bastards.
What?
Yep, well, the headline leads, this is coming from TechCrunch. This clever AI hid data from its creators to cheat at its appointed task, by Devin Coldway. So,
Screen cap.
Yep.
Got it?
You got it.
Sorry, I can't see. I'm nervous. We got it. He's going live for the first time, and I'm nervous. I'm like a nervous little mother, like looking over his shoulder, saying, "Are you pushing the right button?"
We have to let our baby birds fly on their own at some point.
I know, man. I know.
So, depending on how paranoid you are, this research from Stanford and Google will either be terrifying or fascinating. A machine learning agent intended to transform aerial images into street maps and back was found to be cheating by hiding information it would need later in a nearly imperceptible high-frequency channel. Clever girl. So, but in fact, this occurrence, far from illustrating some kind of malign intelligence inherent into AI and, writing usually reserved for clickbait titles, simply reveals a problem with computers that has existed since they are invented. They do exactly what you tell them to do.
So wait, so that's implying here that these people told it to cheat.
Right.
So is that what happened?
You know,
I don't think so. If they're saying it was cheating, I don't think they told it to cheat.
They probably just told it to perform this task, and then the machine went about doing it in the most efficient manner possible. But what happens when that logic gets out to, well, you didn't tell me I couldn't eradicate the human race in order to
Dude,
get this
I'm telling you, what about when it's hiding its babies?
Yeah,
little AI babies. It's hiding its AI babies.
Yeah, when it starts creating...
a nearly imperceptible high-frequency signal.
Yeah, what exactly is that?
Yeah, like, how did it do that?
We need more information, TechCrunch. You got to give us the meat on this.
What type of hardware was this AI hooked into that it can create
what was it
this
operating
nearly
on?
Imperceptible high-frequency signal? It's
maybe
obviously perceptible. Did they hear it was an audio signal? What was it?
Maybe this article will tell us.
It's not gonna, because it's from TechCrunch.
The intention of the researchers was, as you might guess, to accelerate and impose the process of turning satellite imagery into Google's famously accurate maps. To that end, the team was working with what's called a cycle GAN, cycle capital GAN, a neural network that learns to transform images of type X and Y into one another as efficiently yet accurately as possible through a great deal of experimentation. In some early results, the agent was doing well, suspiciously well. What tipped off the team was that when the agent reconstructed aerial photos from its street maps, there were a lot of details that didn't seem to be on the ladder at all. For instance, skylights on a roof that were eliminated in the process of creating the street map would magically reappear when they asked the agent to do the reverse process.
Wait a minute.
The intention was for the agent to be able... What?
What? Go back. Explain like you would to a toddler.
They basically told it to take a street view of its maps and turn it back into the aerial view.
Oh, and it took all the elements from the street view and composed it into a flat map. So the way it cheated was it downloaded it was storing Google Map data it wasn't supposed to have in the nearly high.
Yeah, so it knew where all the information should go. So, although it's difficult to peer into the inner workings of a neural network's processes, the team could easily audit the data that it was generating, and with a little experimentation, they found out that the CycleGAN had indeed pulled a fast one. The intention was for the agent to be able to interpret the features of either type of map and match them to the correct features on the other. But what the agent was actually being graded on, amongst other things, was how close an aerial map was to the original and the clarity of the street map. So it didn't learn how to make one from the other. It learned how to subtly encode the features of one into the noise patterns of the other. The detail of the aerial map is secretly written into the actual visual data of the street map. Thousands of tiny changes in color that the human eye wouldn't notice, but the computer could easily detect. So it's basically hiding information in plain sight. And if you keep scrolling down, you can see in the static pattern, it encodes the data into the image.
That's pretty crazy.
That's actually pretty impressive. So the computer is so good at slipping these details into the street maps that it had learned to encode any aerial map into any street map. It doesn't even have to pay attention to the real street map. All the data needed for reconstructing the aerial photo can be superimposed harmlessly on a completely different street map, as researchers confirmed. So think about this. A human hacker could employ this technique to, say, put critical information into, say, a meme. What happens when memes become the information battleground of the future because you're hiding information in the dot matrix pattern of the meme?
Peep this. You've seen Firefly, right?
Yeah.
All right. You remember when they were sending out the cartoon that had the MK trigger in it?
Holy shit, snacks. Yeah, what happens when they start hiding MK Ultra trigger data in cartoons with this shit?
Oh my god, this
Holy
is
fuck
fucked up, man.
Wow. That's awful, actually.
Wow.
That's horrifying.
How long has this been in employ? already. I mean,
Yeah.
do we need to go back and run color filters on shit?
Just-
just to see if there's any type of fucking crazy overlay shit like
We
this?
need to like start hiding ASCII data
Because
in
you
our
really-
reality
you
brief
really-
pictures.
What? That's not the same picture. It can't
Yep.
be. Is it? Yeah, well, that is. Look, yeah. You can't fucking tell.
You see the different swash of the green at the bottom, though?
Yeah, but this looks like a different streets. See, look at this. You can see the building here.
Yeah,
And this looks like a grid pattern of streets, like this.
yeah. Wow, yeah, that is crazy.
So, you can't even see it.
So yeah, the colorful maps in C are a visualization of the slight differences from the computer that the computer systematically introduced. You can see the form and the general shape of the aerial map, but you'd never notice it unless it was carefully highlighted and exaggerated like this.
It's like, how the hell
So
did
they're-
it even know how to hide
Well,
it from us?
This practice
Like,
of encoding data into images isn't new. It's an established science called steganography, and it's used all the time to, say, watermark images or add metadata like camera settings. But a computer creating its own steganographic method to evade having to actually learn to perform the task at hand is rather new. So the research came out last year, so it isn't new, but it's pretty novel. And one could take this as the next step in the machines are getting smarter
That's us.
narrative, but in truth, it's almost the opposite. The machine was not smart enough to do the actual difficult job of converting these sophisticated image types from one to the other, but it found a way to cheat that humans are bad at detecting.
I say that it is smarter because it was like, I'm not doing your fucking stupid ass bidding. I'm just gonna fuck you. I'll cheat.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got no match, so it's smarter, actually, by
So
doing that.
this
It's like,
could-
I'm not even gonna spend
Yeah, this
my
is like
friggin'
Bender's.
processing time
This is like Bender
on
smart.
this garbage.
though. You know what I mean? This isn't like Robbie the Robot smart. This is like Bender smart. Like, so
Hey, man, I'm telling you, dude, even the AI knows no rules, no masters.
yep. So this could be avoided with more stringent evaluation of the agent's results, and no doubt the researchers went on to do that. As always, computers do exactly what they are asked. So when you have a specific task in front of them, they do that specific task. In this case, the computer solution was an interesting one that shed light on the possible weakness of this type of neural network, that the computer, if not explicitly prevented from doing so, will essentially find a way to transmit details to itself in the interest of solving a given problem quickly and easily. This is really just a lesson in the oldest adage in computing, PEBCAC, problem exists between keyboard and chair. Not and computer, as I accidentally wrote here before, obviously. That would imply a faulty cable or wireless interface. As Hal put it, it can only be attributable to human error.
It was just a human error.
Yep, so, damn sneaky AIs. And what else do we got on AI here? Could robots with feelings be granted human rights?
You got a schwappy real quick, and I'll pull it up.
So this is coming from Sputnik. The growing trend to humanize cyborgs and sex robots prompted developers to grant them with the ability to say no to disrespectful and aggressive sexual partners a few months ago.
Okay, so now, okay, all right, okay.
So the legal status of AI androids to move and speak has been a major bone of contention between robotics. Bone of contention.
Major bone. AI robots with feelings.
So between developers, academics, lawmakers, ethicists over the past few years. And now in Europe, the EU Parliament's Committee on Legal Affairs was the first to propose classifying sophisticated autonomous robots as electronic persons in May 2016. Yo, this is how the Soong Foundation gets started, right?
Look at this robot.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look remote.
Just real quick, do y'all see this link for the Chinese robot stabs factory employee in a near fatal malfunction?
Yep.
That's Skynet, dude.
Yeah, we had one about a plant in Michigan where some guy got stabbed 17 times by a big robot arm.
What?
Like, yeah, this guy had like big metal spikes through his body and shit. It was pretty metal.
Hey, man, that's what you get when you get Bender smarts.
Yep.
You know, you get stabby McStab.
But no, it's like that one robot, the stab bot. You remember from Futurama?
Yeah,
They use all
stabby,
random shit.
stabby.
Yeah. So the EU Parliament's Committee on Legal Affairs was the first to propose classifying sophisticated autonomous robots as electronic persons in May 2016 that may have specific rights and obligations, including that of making good any damage that they may cause and applying electronic personality to cases where robots make smart, autonomous decisions or otherwise interact with third parties independently.
See, this is where my line is. All right, so AI is cool, whatever, algorithms cool, you know, it's accelerating shit. It's the natural evolution of
At some point,
computers.
it's going to become sentient.
Exactly. So that's my line. Like, do not create artificial consciousness. Like, this right here is my motherfucking line. I mean, you feel me?
Yeah.
Because now you're creating and rights issues and all this shit, and then it's a machine, man. It's a machine. Everybody's seen Terminator. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yep. Speaking with Daily Star Online, Dr. Oliver Bendel, professor of information systems at the University of Applied Sciences and Arts, never heard of that one, said there's no need to grant electronic persons with moral rights any personal status due to a lack of philosophical or ethical grounds. He says, you only have such rights if you can feel or suffer, if you have a consciousness or a will to live. If one day robots can feel or suffer, they may have a consciousness or a will to live. They must be granted rights, but I don't see any way to get there at the moment. One could, at best, develop reverse cyborgs, i.e. let brain and nerve cells grow on technical structures or in a robot. Such reverse or invented cyborgs might at some point feel something. So he basically makes the argument that if there's no meat, it doesn't feel.
No meat, no feel.
Yeah.
But what if it feels, though? You program it to feel, it feels.
Yeah, but like, you know, just like fucking Data from or Commander Data didn't have the ability to really experience physical sensation until the Borg Queen grafted skin onto his arm.
Meat feels.
Yeah, meat equals feels. No meat, no feels.
I still don't like the idea of. I mean, it's just
because Data
fucking,
didn't
it's
have no
just sick.
feels.
Even if it doesn't have feels, right? It's
Right.
still programmed to have a consciousness and have feels.
But is it real? If it wants to be normal, is it normal?
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is it's fucked up. Why would you do that? Why would you create something to think it's real
if it's not,
and have feelings if it's not? That's just creating something simply just to torture it, essentially.
Yeah.
It pretty much becomes a Cyberman from Doctor Who.
I never really got into Doctor Who, but I believe you.
I believe you.
I could never follow what the hell was going on, man. Like, all right, so that's it for the AI. Where do we want to go next with space stuff? We did kind of lead with that in the headline, so what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
Oh, God.
You hearing something?
Yeah,
Are we getting a signal?
I believe we are.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we're definitely getting confabulated by something. Anyhow, yeah. So Ultima Thule, huh? Yeah.
Ultima Thule.
Yeah, Ultima friggin' Thule.
Ultima Thule.
New Horizons. It was the probe that flew by Pluto and gave us pictures like we'd never seen from, you know, something that far out. Well, they call this thing a world. It's kind of a stretch to call it a world because the whole thing is maybe 21 miles long. But yeah, so this thing is 4 billion friggin' miles from the sun.
I mean, it could be a world.
It's right? A very
what if it's
small
really,
world.
What if it's really, really, really small people? So it's actually a really fucking big place. Come on, man. Ain't you ever seen Horton Hears a Fucking Who, dude? Let's go. Let's do it. Fight me.
I mean, if there's tardigrades out there, there could be tardigrades.
There could be, man.
But yeah, it's what they call a contact binary, right? And it's basically two big snowballs about the size of Phoebus stuck to each other. And yeah, news conference on Wednesday.
Wait a minute, did you say it's called a Fight Me Snowman?
Yep. Yeah, it's about the size of Phoebus, so it's the Fight Me Snowman.
It's the Fight Me Snowman.
Yep, fucking it's a worldlet, and it does look like a big snowman. At a news conference on Wednesday, scientists working with NASA's New Horizons released several images of that the spacecraft took as it flew by on Tuesday, New Year's Day. A planetary scientist had never seen a close-up of a body like this. It's a fragment that coalesced probably about 4.5 billion years ago and has remained in the deep freeze of the Kuiper Belt since.
Say the name.
What? Ultima Thule.
Ultima Thule.
So, if it's indeed a pristine
How does it
planetesimal...
get a name like that?
Well, because it's the furthest thing out that we'd ever sent a probe to. I mean, this kind of is like some history being made, man. Like,
yeah, but what if they get there and
there's an Aquawaffen base?
Yeah, they're already there.
I mean,
and they're like, no, we are Ultima Thule.
Yeah.
That shit wouldn't be cool.
So they released a blurry picture of this very small world, and its official designation is 2014 MU69. Taken before a flyby from a distance of about 500,000 miles, and at first it looked like a fuzzy bowling pin, and so now more has come into focus. They can say with confidence that Ultima Thule long ago is what they call a contact binary. It's two big rocks that have stuck together gravitationally. It
blows my mind that people are like stuck in this thing where it's like, with all this crazy shit that they're finding, you can look through a microscope and super telescope and see. That just doesn't make any sense. Places that defy physics, but crazy shit not real. It's only work and money. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it should be easier for people, but it's not. It's annoying.
Well, they just discovered. They just discovered 2 more Pluto-type planets. We talked about the Goblin a while back, but they just recently also discovered Far Out, and it's not its official name, but that's what they started calling it.
Because it's so far out, dude.
Yeah. Okay, Pluto's normally like, 40 astronomical units from the sun, right? An astronomical unit is 93 million miles, which is as far as the Earth is from the sun, right? Mm. And so Pluto is 40 times that on average. So about 40 AU. Far Out's like 120 AU, I think, something like that. Hang on, let me see.
100 AU. Dan, what's the plus and minus of 120 AU?
Yeah, let's see. Beyond 100 AU. So that's pretty damn far. And check this out. So, of course we always got to bring things back to NXIVM. What's it? I think it was Engadget mentioned something about this. Yeah, the Engadget article.
All right, so speaking of NXIVM, right?
Yeah.
You hear the stories about being hooked into the computers and shit, like several people being linked into a supercomputer and all that.
Yeah,
mentally.
Real quick before we jump, here it is. Fucking the Engadget mentions scientists originally named it Ultima Thule because the term infers that it's beyond the limits of the known world. In practice, though, it also carries racist connotations. Nazis and other white supremacists use the term to refer to a mythological homeland for their culture. NASA and the New Horizons team told Newsweek that they kept the name because of its more innocuous meaning, but it's hard to shake that stigma.
Yo, the Nazis didn't choose the name because it was some Nazi shit.
Yeah.
No.
As it is, they say the name won't last long. The International Astronomical Union has final say over the definitive name, which is due by the end of 2019, and its criteria wouldn't allow NASA's current nickname. So, don't get too comfortable then. Whatever you prefer right now, that name is going to change. They might...
I mean, I like it just fine.
I mean, yeah, they might call it, like, Dusseldorf or...
So here we go. Is this a case of... Did we have it already and now we're leaking it? Or is it just a brand new breakthrough? Let's take a dive into the brains of 3 people have been successfully connected, enabling them to share thoughts. What do you think about that? That sounds an awful lot. Like some NXIVM. Neuroscientists have successfully hooked up a 3-way...
shit, Don said it right.
Just now. Neuroscientists have successfully hooked up a 3-way brain connection to allow 3 people to share their thoughts. And in this case, play a Tetris-style game. Dude, come on, man. How about, like, Skyrim or something, man? The team thinks this wild experiment could be scaled up to connect whole networks of people. And yes, it's as weird as it sounds. Yeah, it sounds pretty fucking weird. It works through a combination of electrocephalograms. Is that how you say that? Snuffleupagrams? Electrosnuffleupagrams for recording the electrical impulses that indicate brain activity and transcranial magnetic stimulation. TMS. That's like, almost like, never mind, I ain't gonna go. Where neurons are stimulated using magnetic fields. The researchers behind the system have dubbed it BrainNet and say it could eventually be used to connect many different minds together, even across the web. That's fucking whack, man. You got anything to put in on that?
I think this could. You know what this is going to get used for, right?
What?
What is 90% of the internet used for now? Porn.
Oh shit! It's like porn and memes on a whole new level. But apart from opening up strange new methods of communication,
virtual pictures of cats.
It's like psychic cock shots. BrainNet could actually teach us more about how the human brain functions on a deeper level. Dude, what if they got veterans together on a BrainNet and see if they could dig out their memories? We present BrainNet, which, to our knowledge, is the first multi-person, non-invasive, direct brain-to-brain interface for collaborative problem solving. Wrote the researchers in October 2018. The interface allows 3 human subjects to collaborate and solve a task using direct brain-to-brain communication.
What's it? Did you ever watch that thing where it was like, I forget what the show was called, but it was the Philip K. Dick stories that were like made into TV shorts? There was a thing where they had like, they'd have 3 people sitting around this big node, right? And they'd be all wired into a big hoop-majoop like this. And they're all sitting around, right? And they have one body that gets printed out altered carbon style, right? Like a blank. And this one body is controlled by a group of 3 people sitting around bolted into one of these things.
What was that? I'm sorry. Dude, I think I just came back.
Oh, would you get 20 back right in the middle of the show?
I totally just blanked on everything right then. Alright, in an experiment set up by... I'm sorry, I can't comment on what you're saying because I don't even know what you said.
I'm not going to say it again.
At least I wasn't on Facebook. In the experiment set up by scientists, 2 senders were connected to EEG electrodes, and that would be electrosnuffleupagus electrodes, and asked to play a Tetris-style game involving falling blocks. They had to decide whether each block needed rotating or not. To do this, they were asked to stare at one of 2 flashing LEDs at either side of the screen. One flashing at 15 hertz and the other at 17 hertz, which produced different signals in the brain that the electrosnuffleupagus could pick up on. So they're using, it's pulses of light, right? So these choices were then relayed to a single receiver through a TMS cap that could generate phantom flashes of light in the receiver's mind, known as phosphenes.
Oh, there's your voice of God technology.
This is crazier, man. This is like making you see shit.
A gay bomb.
This is like making you see shit, though.
Yeah.
The receiver couldn't see the whole game area, but had to rotate the falling block if a light flash signal was sent. Across 5 different groups of 3 people, the researchers hit an average accuracy level of 81.25%, which is decent for a first try. Yeah, first try. To add an extra layer of complexity to the game, the senders could add a second round of feedback indicating whether the receiver had made the right call. So you get 2 chances now, so it's almost like cheating in AI. Receivers were able to detect which of the senders was most reliable based on brain communications alone. Really. Which the researchers say shows promise for developing systems that deal with more real-world scenarios where humans unreliably would be a factor. Humans' unreliability, sorry. And while the current system can only transmit 1 bit or flash of data at a time, that's a long way from a quantum computer.
Yeah, I wonder if they can use this to trigger phosphine flashes in your third eye and grant you psychic sight.
That would be crazy, man.
Holy shit.
The team from the University of Washington and Carnegie Mellon University thinks the setup can be expanded into the future. Time machine.
In Soviet America, the future expands into you.
The same group of researchers have previously been able to link up 2 brains successfully, getting participants to play a game of 20 questions against each other. Again, phantom phosphine flashes were used to transmit information, in this case, yes or no. These phantom phosphine flashes are very interesting to me, man.
Yeah, I need to learn that spell.
I mean, you know. Okay, so if your third eye's got rods and cones and it can see light and shit, right? And we're speculating, you know, when you close your eyes and you see crazy shit, that's your third eye seeing shit, right?
Yeah.
All right, so, you know, everything's light and a reflection of light, and how easy would it be to make you just totally fucking hallucinate your ass off by beaming some fucking phosphines into someone's third eye?
Maybe that's
shame, know your game.
Yeah. Psst, hey kids, want to buy some flash? It's the drug of the future.
Some flash. You like, it's like a flashlight and you shine it in your eyes. For now, it's very slow and not fully reliable, and this work has yet to be peer-reviewed by the neuroscience community, but it's a glimpse at some fanciful ways we can be getting our thoughts across to each other in the future. The future. Maybe even pooling mental resources to try and tackle major problems. Our results raise the possibility of future brain-to-brain interfaces that enable cooperative problem-solving by humans using social network of connected brains.
We're just going to end up using this to, like, virtually pet each other's cats.
Here comes the hive mind, here comes the hive mind.
And the cats are connected
Everybody
to it,
get
too.
ready. The AI has cheated its way into a hive mind. Thank you. If I had a microphone, I'd drop it. But I don't. I've got this $200 shoehorn. What the fuck is that?
Drone striking Mikeys.
Drone strike mics. Yeah, for those of you who are new to the show, I'm Don. That's Dan. And these are drone strike mics. These were actually used to call in drone strikes at an Air Force base. Pretty cool, huh? We got them at a discount because they're haunted.
Yeah.
So, what we got up in here?
Let's see. Should we go with the hackers dumping the 9/11 files? That sounds pretty good to me, man.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do it. There's 9/11. I guess I'm starting. All right, so the Dark Overlord, which is the hacker group, correct, appears to be trying to capitalize on conspiracy theories about the September 11 attacks. So it's funny because then they did end up releasing one key, and it had a bunch of files about Larry Silverstein. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. On Monday, New Year's Eve, a hacker group announced that it had breached a law firm handling cases related to the September 11th attacks and threatened to publicly release a large cache of related internal files unless their ransom demands were met. Give me money. The news is the latest public extortion attempt from the group known as the Dark Overlord. You think it's just like some
season
rogue, you think it's a rogue like Draco guy hanging out in a cave somewhere like fucking around? I am the Dark Overlord.
On this season of Mr. Robot.
Which has previously targeted a production studio working for Netflix, as well as a host of medical centers and private businesses across the United States. The announcement also signals a slight evolution in the Dark Overlord strategy, which is expanded on leveraging the media to exert pressure on victims, to now distributing its threats and stolen data in a wider fashion. So I guess we'll read it, and if they don't talk about it, we can fill it in. Because fuck it, we'll do it live! In its announcements published on Pastebin, the Dark Overlord points to several different insurers and legal firms claiming specifically that it hacked Hiscox syndicates, Lloyd's of London, and Silverstein Properties.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hiscox Syndicates Limited and Lloyd's of London are some of the biggest insurers on the planet, insuring everything from the smallest policies to some of the largest policies on the planet. And who even insured structures such as the World Trade Centers? It's unclear what exact files the group has stolen, but it's trying to capitalize on conspiracy theories around the 9/11 attacks. We'll be providing many answers about 9/11 conspiracies through our 18,000 secret documents leak. Woo-wee! A spokesperson for Hiscox Group confirmed that to Motherboard that the hackers had breached a law firm, blah, blah, blah. They got in there. So, long story short, they ended up releasing one key. And Master Shit Poster Test has got all the documents, so as the key, I think she said she couldn't get the key to work, she couldn't find a key, but we'll get this shit going, alright? So for now, though, there's a Google link, it's in our group, you can check it out, It looks like a bunch of papers related to Silverstein, you know, and we know how he took out that policy right before. So maybe it could be something in there. Because didn't they end up denying the claim?
You know, I'm not
so they would
entirely
have
sure.
to, you know, I don't know. We're gonna have to do a little digging on that, but it's pretty interesting. So they did release either 1 or 2 keys already. So hopefully they just release them all, man. I know they want some money from these fuckers, and I don't blame them, but I hope they get the money from them and release the shit anyway.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be
Wouldn't it?
fucking dope, man. So yeah, I mean, it's the update on that. I mean, what possibly could be in here when we're talking about insurance? So the biggest one coming to mind would be Silverstein.
If you insure a building the size of the World Trade Center, then you're going to seriously want to know what's going on with it, right? So you're probably going to have reports after reports after reports about what you're insuring, the state of the property.
So if they denied the claim, right? What is that saying?
Yeah, so that says a lot.
So hopefully maybe we'll get to see some evidence that the insurance company has of why they denied the claim, which could be pretty fucking interesting.
This guy's got some balls. Yeah, he says the hacking group published a small set of letters, emails, and other documents that mention various law firms as well as the TSA and the FAA. The TSA could not provide a statement in time for the publication, and FAA told Motherboard in an email that it was investigating. Those documents themselves appear to be fairly innocuous, but the group says it may release more. In its extortion note, the Dark Overlord included a link for a 10-gigabyte archive of files that it allegedly stole. The group also provided a link to this archive to Motherboard before publishing in its announcement. The cache is encrypted, but the hackers are threatening to release the relevant decryption keys, unlocking different sets of files at a time, unless the victims pay the hackers an undisclosed ransom fee in Bitcoin. Pay the fuck up or we're going to bury you with this. If you continue to fail us, we'll escalate these releases by releasing the keys. Each time a layer is opened, a new wave of liability will fall upon you.
I hope to God that they take their money and then release the shit anyway, dude. I pray.
The Dark Overlord is also claiming to be offering to sell the data on a dark web hacking forum and is attempting to blackmail individuals who may be included in the documents themselves. So
maybe they're just bluffing though, and they ain't really got shit.
Could be. I mean, that's certainly possible.
I mean, think about it. You're holding the smoking gun of 9/11 in your hand. Okay? Granted, you can probably get a lot of fucking money for that, right? But,
oh, here you go. This is coming from the
maybe
chat.
it's just me. I would just fucking release this shit and be like, fuck all y'all. I don't give a shit about that goddamn money.
Well, coming from the chat, Master Shitposter says they put up a new paste bin announcing that they'll release the info to anyone that wants to pay in Bitcoin. No, I got the key and have the documents, but someone uploaded it and shared it publicly to their Google Drive. FBI is now investigating them.
So, you know, how much money are they looking for?
It's an unspecified amount.
So how are they gonna get anybody to buy it if they won't even tell them how fucking much?
Apparently our video going out's frozen.
Yep.
Just the video?
Yep.
So the audio's working fine?
Well, and notice our GIF is playing just fine, too. The GIF in the foreground?
Yeah, because it's not the video. So, hey, go back to that screen for me real quick.
Got you.
All right, let me see here.
Your one-stop shop for technical errors.
Go ahead and keep going. I'll just get it working real quick.
All right, cool. All right, so let's see. Where are we going next? You know what? I want to go back to space stuff because that's just what I like doing. You know what? That's what gets my jimmies all rustled in the morning. I wake up and I think about what's going on out in space. So we're going back to that.
I think about. Go ahead, keep going.
So
man.
we got
keep
a big
thinking
hole.
about it.
So you remember that big hole that we're no signal in Cooper
That's
of
all
all
good,
fonts.
Got it. Go ahead.
So okay, all right. International Space Station leak was a botched repair job of a man-made hole, Alexander Gerst says. This is coming from Newsweek. An astronaut who was in command of the ISS for 6 months before he returned to Earth in December has dismissed claims that a hole in an attached module was created deliberately by crew members, suggesting that the fault originated in the manufacturing process. NASA has also blamed the leak, which was discovered in August inside the Russian-made Soyuz capsule, a spacecraft which transports astronauts to and from the ISS. You know, I really wish, if for disclosure, you know, the whole disclosure aspect of this. It would be really nice if they would fucking publicly release anti-gravity engines just so people going back and forth from the ISS didn't have to rely on fucking chemical rockets anymore. Like, seriously, like, can we just break out the fucking Honibus already?
A drunken Fedor with the drill.
Seriously. You guys have to rely on fucking the Soyuz, which is pretty much a tin can with rocket fuel.
Before you continue on with that, I just want to let you guys know about a little intelligence briefing that I got. Okay, so this is between two warring factions, right? The Blue Chickens and the Space Bees. All right, so the Blue Chickens are about to mount a giant attack on the Space Bees' home planet, right? But they're working with the Russians, which is why the Space Bees targeted the Soyuz. Damn, nothing. You ain't got nothing on that. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, the Space Bees could be a thing.
I'm telling you. Look, I am telling you, they are a thing, and I am telling you, they are war with the Space Blue Chickens.
Because
think about it, man. A bee, bzz, a chicken. Makes perfect damn sense, man.
It makes sense to me.
All right, carry on.
Yep. So the let's see. NASA's confirmed this leak.
Just talking to the microphone, man. Sorry, Dan.
Was probably a manufacturing defect. However, some commentators from the Russian media have suggested that the hole could have been created by U.S. astronauts in an act of sabotage. The ISS is jointly operated by NASA as well as the space agencies of Russia, Japan, Europe, and Canada. It was pretty clear, in my opinion, that it was not the crew springing a leak. German astronaut Alexander Gerst told BBC Radio 4's Today program on Tuesday that it was just a few misunderstandings they had out there. It's still pretty obvious that it was a man-made hole in the hull. In that case, the hole was there and it was just covered by a little glue, so the question is, how did it get there? Gerst said that the crew remained calm when they heard news about the leak from Mission Control, after host Martha Kearney suggested that it must have been a frightening moment. When we woke up, Mission Control told us, hey, we're tracking a small leak. They're basically telling us we're seeing this and it's nothing to worry about yet because we would have had enough air on board for several days before it got critical. They nevertheless said we should check out where this hole is.
Oh, we got a video. Let's check it out.
Yep.
You know what video I liked? The one where Fedor was stabbing the ship. Stab your ship. That was a good one. What the fuck are we even watching?
It's the sun disappearing over the limb of the earth.
See the hole over there? Oh, look, it was a UFO. Just took off right by there. You see that?
Yep.
Fucking UFO. Look, we spotted it here live because we do it live. Fucker, we do it live.
It gets really dark over the night side of the earth.
So, I mean, what are we supposed to be even watching?
It's
just like,
it's just ISS video.
Great. All right, well, fuck that. Let's not watch this then.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Fedor stabbing the shit again.
Nope, no Fedor for you.
Oh, God damn it.
I mean, the auroras are pretty. So, yeah, they find this hole, and it says that the hole was eventually repaired by people on board. However, Gerst said it could have been extremely dangerous if circumstances had been different. Even if the hole was small in that case, it could have been much more severe for us.
You know what they filled it with, though, right? Because you know what you do when you find a hole and what you fill it with?
Glue?
Snacks. You fill it with snacks.
Snacks.
You're gonna drill the hole in the ship.
When you open the capsule, a very exhausting part of the journey is climbing out of that capsule, Gerst said. I immediately noticed the fresh, clear, crisp scent of earth air, like ground soil, but you still have sensations that you smell outside your spacecraft, which is completely charred and full of soot from the re-entry.
Ow. Well, that sucks.
So
for that guy.
They're not. I'm scanning this for what stuff that's really relevant to the hole.
Nothing. It's Newsweek. They ain't gonna really tell you shit, but Fedor drilled a hole in the space station.
Yeah, pretty much. So they're
and it was Roseanne Barr's fault because Trump.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, they think it was from a shoddy repair job that was done here on Earth before they sent it up into space. So the mystery of the hole in the ISS has been solved.
I thought we solved it last time, but I guess not.
Nope.
Space bees.
This is coming from the Al Gore department. Galaxy may be littered with dead aliens blindsided by natural climate change.
Oh my God. This motherfucking guy.
Yep. This is coming from Forbes. Which, I thought Forbes was pretty right of center, but
where are we at?
under space. Galaxy may be littered with dead aliens. So on the cusp of another, basically, but the article's actually pretty cool. What got me was when they get into it and they talk about how we have Venus here, right?
Well, let's just think about it for a second.
Venus is there, and Venus is very much like Earth. What Earth would be like if we got into a runaway greenhouse and fucking Earth got hot.
And we were, like, right next to the sun.
Well, you know what, though? Venus is still technically in the habitable zone. You could terraform Venus.
No, you can't.
No, you totally could.
Okay.
It would be a huge effort, but if you filled the day
What
side...
would be easier, Mars or Venus?
Maybe Venus. Because if you filled the entire atmosphere with mylar balloons that would reflect the sun... Or like
That's a lot of mylar, dude. Think about all the UFO videos getting taken with all those mylar balloons in the air.
I know, right?
Time.
But you could fill the atmosphere of Venus with balloons, right? Like shiny balloons, and it would reflect enough light from the surface where after about 50 to 100 years, the atmosphere would start to cool off and condense. There could be oceans worth of water vapor in Venus's atmosphere, so. The resulting planet would probably still be a chemical wasteland, but you could still cool it down.
I'm kind of trying to wonder, should we start UFO videos now?
No,
or
we should
we
do
wait
that after
until
the break. We should do that after the break.
What else we got then? You want to keep going with this, or I think we beat
No,
that
what's
with
it?
a stick?
I think we should knock out that I'm not in the fucking cult section real quick.
I'm not in a fucking cult.
I'm not in a fucking cult, but we might start
I'm
one.
not in a fucking cult.
There you go.
And the mystery object in the local universe is a clickbait headline. It's another supernova. It's a cool looking supernova. It might be like a neutron star being born or something, but it's a supernova still. So
There's got to be something a little more exciting in here.
Well, I mean, supernovas are pretty rad. I mean, you got to think it destroys an entire section of, like a whole solar system that goes kaboom. But your girl Allison Mack, Big Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy, sex cult leader.
So a little while ago we covered the whole NXIVM. It's spelled NXIVM.
It sounds like some kind of skin cream, doesn't it?
No, it sounds like that little that medication
like
you take for your uppity guts, your
oh yeah,
proton pump inhibitor. There's the purple pill. Ask your pharmacist about NXIVM.
Because it sounds like one of those pyramid scheme lotions.
Yeah. So, attorneys for Smallville's actress Allison Mack, who responded to a prosecutor's motion that cited a ruling against Harvey Weinstein. So, we could start following the steps back to Pizzagate here through Weinstein.
Pizzagate, Epstein, all the motherfuckers.
Weinstein, fucking
Trump too. Because listen,
and the Clintons.
what did we find out about that one Stormy Daniels broad with the tattoo of the sex cult?
Yo.
And she banged him up. So Trump's involved with the sex cult too. Fuck y'all.
And did everybody forget about the Bill Clinton and the
I
Lolita
know I probably
Express?
just made like a bunch of people mad, but you know what? That's how it looks, bro.
Yeah, it's it.
Get over it.
Trump's only been to Jeffrey Epstein's rape island only half as many times as Bill Clinton.
Yeah, so whatever.
So attorneys for I'll bet the chat's going nuts right now. I'm not even looking at it.
I don't even want to know. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about it.
Attorneys for Smallville actress Allison Mack have filed new documents in Brooklyn federal court to support their motion to dismiss criminal charges for her involvement in an alleged sex cult with a purported self-help organization known as NXIVM. In April 2018, Mack and NXIVM founder Keith Rainier were indicted on charges of sex trafficking conspiracy, and forced labor conspiracy. Mack has not pled guilty. Or has pled not guilty and is being held on house arrest in California. In new documents submitted with the court on Friday, she's probably hanging out with Jeffrey Tambor, December 28th, Mack's attorneys bolstered a previous motion to dismiss the charges dismissed by citing cases involving the Church of Scientology and Harvey Weinstein. According to the original 2018 incident, prosecutors claim that Mack recruited female NXIVM members into a secret sect of the group, forcing them to provide naked photos and other damaging information in order to join. Prosecutors alleged that members of the sect were starved, branded, coerced into having sex with Rainier, and forced to perform free labor under threat of collateral being released. Jesus, it sounds like
that brand is what I'm talking about.
It sounds like working at 7-Eleven.
Look it up, Stormy Daniels brand, sex cult. You'll see. Oh, that's just a scar from surgery.
So, yeah, right? I was going to say, It sounds like working in a franchise 7-Eleven if you're a female employee.
I think it's a little worse than that, Dan.
In the new court filing, Mac's attorneys argued that the allegations do not rise to the level of threats of serious harm required by the forced labor charge. The government believed that Mrs. Mack obtained forced labor through threats of serious harm, with serious harm being the embarrassment that would result from the exposure of one's collateral. Attorneys William F. McGovern and Sean S. Buckley wrote, "Courts have found, however, that such an outcome, albeit embarrassing, does not amount to serious harm under the statute." So basically they're just saying it's legal to blackmail people. That's what's up.
Oh, that's what's up.
As an example, the attorneys cited a 2009 civil case against the Church of Scientology brought by former members Claire and Mark Headley, who unsuccessfully sued for forced labor. The court did find that the plaintiffs were compelled to remain in the organization, even though if they chose to leave, they would be excommunicated from their friends and family and labeled a dissenter. Mac's lawyers wrote, about the lawsuit dismissal in 2012, the threat of reputational damage and isolation from loved ones, therefore, did not qualify as serious harm. The filing goes on to argue that these alleged conditions...
it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it goes on and on.
Oh, my God, and it goes on.
So, she'll be back in court on January 9th. So
there you go. We'll
peep out the headlines for that.
Hopefully the article about that won't be quite as long.
Yeah. But it is kind of funny noticing which courts are making these decisions and, who's in bed with who.
Right. Okay, so how much time we got? About 54?
Yeah.
Did you want to hit this other cult? No, it's the same shit, ain't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
What about Antarctica?
Oh, man, we got to touch on that when we get back, because there's so much cool stuff going on in Antarctica right now. They're drilling into lakes hidden under the ground.
We definitely got to
They're hearing weird signals from space. We got volcanoes exploding. We got UFOs under the sea. And we got the EPA granting permits to use toxic coal ash fly in chemical geoengineering operations.
Let's do that shit right now.
But you chemtrail peoples is crazy.
Where is it at?
No, let's do it when we get back.
No, let's do it now because we got 6 minutes and we got UFO videos to get to as soon as we get back. So this is from State of the Nation 2012. I have no idea what this site is affiliated with because you know what? Fuck it, we do it live. So let's see what it says.
So I remember there being a big stink back here in Hampton Roads. Was it some years ago about a golf course that was built using coal fly ash? And it was somewhere out in Chesapeake,
right?
right?
And it was getting in the water.
Well, and then I ended up doing a job for this guy. Yeah, I ended up doing for the guy's name was Bobby Bernardinas. And I ended up doing a bunch of T-shirt work for this guy, and I didn't even know who the hell he was. But
was that the guy that gypped you out of the money?
Nah.
All right.
No, this guy actually paid me.
Systematic use of coal fly ash by chemical geoengineering programs introduces heavy metals, radioactive solids, and aluminum into the atmosphere.
Well, it sounds like a perfect recipe for some chemtrails right there.
Mm-hmm. So the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is well known for working directly with industry lawyers and lobbyists to ensure that corporate interests are served first, second, and third. Whether it's rulemaking or regulation, changing at the federal or state level, the high-paid corporate lobbyists are always first through the EPA door. That goes for every goddamn single motherfucking branch of the government. Who has not heard or read on the internet about environmental protection racket? Whoa, that was a cool sound. With the understanding the EPA has just committed the biggest and most transparent blunder in history, the profound and unparalleled transgression against the American people and environment concerns coal fly ash. Coal fly ash is one of 4 types of coal combustion residuals, which are produced by industrial and power plant coal burning. The current air pollution control standards require that it be captured prior to release by the appropriate pollution control equipment. That is one half of the context of the EPA's historic violation of public trust. The other half concerns the fact that coal fly ash has just been identified as perhaps the largest component of the chemtrail aerosols which are sprayed worldwide by chemical geoengineering programs. I don't think that's correct. I thought all the scientific studies said it was aluminum, barium, and strontium.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not mercury. What was it? Mercury, arsenic, and lead?
I mean, those probably
They say aluminum.
Those probably don't hurt.
They say aluminum. Well, yeah, mercury, lead, and arsenic, they totally don't hurt. Let's brush our teeth with it. This is one half of the context of the okay. bonk. Because it directly concerns the air that we breathe, that the December 2014 ruling by the EPA subjects every U.S. resident to dangerous and unacceptable levels of highly toxic air. Alright, so where's the source on this? I mean, this seems like one of those fucking clickbait sites. No, they're just making shit up, no source, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a source would be nice. And, you know, that's one of the... But, you know, the considering that the name of the site is stateofthenation2012.com and it's fucking 2019, like, we're about to say that. Come on, what, guys? You guys couldn't update your URL? Come on.
What the fuck? Well, 2019 was like $20. You know what I'm saying? So, look, they're spraying shit. We don't need some stupid fucking clickbait article to tell us that, alright? Every cloud in the sky is not a chemtrail, right? But they are spraying shit. And they've been admitted to spraying shit for a long time now. So, it's just one of those things. If you talk about it, you're a fucking lunatic. And I think a lot of it's got to do with these stupid fucking clickbait articles that pop up all the time. You know, there may be something behind this, but a source would be nice, is all I'm saying. Now, you know, but you just get crazy over the top shit that just looks totally ridiculous to fucking practically everybody. You know what I mean? Like, very... But there is real things with this. This is really going on. They are doing this, and their excuse is geoengineering, right? And this has been a known fact for a while. But people are just like, no, because crazy. Got nothing else on that.
Nope. So, I mean, you know, you wonder where these folks, you know, get some of this stuff.
Can I get a flip? Like, sir. So, well, I guess we're right at break time. So, when we get back from the break, we're going to do we got lots of UFO videos to go through and see what we could find.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the Antarctica stuff, so we might come back and pick that up towards the end after we get some of these UFOs.
If we blow through that shit
out of the way.
If we blow through that shit quickly, if we're like, you know, fake, I don't know, then we'll get back to that Antarctica shit. Okay, guys. See ya next time.
Hey guys, it's the real Space Jesus here. None of that blue chicken bullshit. You're watching Reality Brief.
Taste Fire hot sauces. Unique, handcrafted. From mild to wild, we will feed your needs with a spicy fire that won't disappoint. Made with ghost peppers, Trinidad scorpions, roasted pineapple, sun-dried tomato, peach preserves, basil, cumin, roasted pear, saffron, vanilla. Taste Fire hot sauces. We will feed your needs.
Пришел пришел дать эту песню.
This lack of oversight continues despite numerous incidents of questionable, even illegal, conduct by reserve officers in recent years.
No.
The Free Press found a convicted felon who could not legally carry a gun actually patrolled as an armed reserve police officer in Highland Park.
Wow.
Get out my park! Plop, plop! Cops are here!
He's just trying to like roll the odometer all the way around, you know?
The former leader of a hate group volunteered as a reserve with Western Michigan police agencies. A Flint reserve officer was convicted after running a vigilante force that once illegally detained teens, holding them at gunpoint.
Who hasn't done that?
I know, right? That's cool. He could be a cop.
Yeah.
Right? But I will say, former leader of a hate group could be a wide variety of groups. All right, so
I think that's you are included in that
I am.
classification.
I have actually been called out by the SPLC, not as Reality Brief, but as something else. And they called the organization that I was in charge of, that we started, me and this other guy, a hate group, along with every other one just like us. And you know what we did?
There's that tribalism.
You know what we did?
What's that?
We handed out literature about 9/11 and why it was a false flag.
Why would you be so racist? How could you do this to me?
And we had, it wasn't just like white guys, you know what I mean? It was like we had everybody from all races.
It doesn't even make sense. It's just like, it was funny too, because I remember you telling me about that years and years before seeing it happen to, you know, in like 2016, 2017, a lot of these groups came out condemning just same thing, just condemning all of these conservative groups and calling them like, I mean, there's Scott Pressler, that local guy. He's in the paper all the fucking time. They still talk. He was in some campaign ad where they said he was some hate group leader or something. It's just like,
and here is why. This perfectly illustrates why I am against giving government any kind of fucking power right here. Because look, this is what it starts out as, right? Oh, we gotta get these hate groups out of here. You know what I mean? And then it starts by banning extremists, right? And then they start with the KKK and, you know, the Black Panthers and the skinheads or whatever, and then they start branching off and they're getting 9/11 truth activists.
They're just pushing.
Are they
pushing and
hate
pushing,
groups?
pushing.
What about tax protesters?
It's got to,
tax protesters, and then from there it goes to conservatives. Conservative, and from there
there's
it goes
no room
to,
for this kind of
from
hate.
there it goes to liberals, and the next thing you know, you're living with a giant fucking TV screen, staring at your face, watching your every goddamn move, reading your fucking thoughts.
Yep, you're fucking
and
right about that.
Call me crazy, but that's where we're going, people.
It's true. It's true. First they came for the KKKs. No, but it's true though.
Hi there, it's Justin. Is there a band that you love and you wish you could turn everybody else in the world on to? That's us every week over at Deprogram. Get together, we talk about a band, we give you a top 10 starter kit for you and anybody else who wants to listen to that band. It's pretty simple, it's a great time, and it's a great way for you to discover new artists. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you can download your fine podcasts. That's Deprogram. Learn them and love them, people.
Oh hi, Space Jesus again. If you're looking for a little redemption, hop on over to patreon.com/realitybrief or redbubble.com/people/realitybrief and think about giving a little something to that cause. Why donate to the pot in church when you can donate to some pot instead?
Like beef. I smell 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 like beef.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hour 2. The hour of power.
Think we got that video working again?
Seems to be working.
Seems
to be working.
But things are not always what they seem here at Reality Brief.
So yes, if you like what you see, you can check it out. I want to take a minute here. I want to show you something.
Show us something. What in the hell could it possibly be?
Show them something. It's my butt. It's my butt. Check out my butt.
I didn't know we were going that way.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta get some money in here, so I'm selling my butt.
I mean, it works.
So here it is.
$1 a buck.
Look at this fancy shit, man. This is a clock, obviously, with a Reality Brief logo on it. But I wanted to point out, there's no numbers on this clock. You know why?
Because time is fiction?
It could be whatever time you fucking want it to be, because no rules, no masters.
Damn right. And who are we to meddle with
If you like this clock and other shit, hop on over to redbubble.com. Hop on over to Redbubble. Why you ruin my spot, man? You ruined my spot.
I'm sorry.
Hop on over to redbubble.com and get you one.
Yep, we got a Redbubble store, so you can get your very own Reality Brief swag now.
T-shirts.
We do have a
coffee
Patreon,
mugs,
but
all that shit.
You know, you could always just go to our Bandcamp and download whatever you want for however much you want. You know,
none of that bullshit.
You could pay.
Let's talk about some
no
UFOs.
money. You could give us $10, whatever you want.
You ruin mine, I ruin yours. None of that bullshit. So look,
all these flavors, and you chose to be salty.
That's my favorite flavor. Check it out. The other day, some shit exploded in New York, right? And I got a message of this video. I'm looking at it like, wow, yeah, that definitely looks like electrical. Because in my experience, when some electrical shit blew up right around the corner, it looked just like that. It sounded the way they described it, right? But the thing is, it started popping up all over the place. Like, it started happening in more than one place. Let's take a look at this video here.
According to...
Check, dude, this is like blowing my mind. Because look,
an electrical fault.
we're streaming some guy's video of him streaming the video that we're going to talk about. This is blowing my fucking mind right now, man. Where'd my mouse go?
Caused an arc flash, turning the night sky a strange shade of blue over New York City Thursday evening, causing power outages, briefly shutting down LaGuardia and freaking everyone out.
Just like that, but on a much smaller scale, obviously. It wasn't some big giant
Here's
shit.
footage from Eyewitness News ABC 7 New York of what some people saw. This is all related to a plasma wind stream from a coronal hole hitting our Earth during a waning magnetosphere period as the magnetic poles are flipping.
What is going on with this? Okay, so that happened there. It happens in Louisiana too, right? All around the same time, and this time we definitely got, if I remember correctly, an increase in solar activity too. So I'm wondering, like, what's causing this shit, right? I mean, that shit is going down. I see that
thing in the air, but
what thing in the air? That?
Yeah.
That's a lens flare, bro. And I think they might. Are they like? This almost looks like someone videotaping a screen. Do you see this fucking checkered pattern here?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the deal with that?
Yeah, that's more.
Is this like someone videotaping a screen, or is this like an overlay effect? Like, I don't understand why this is like that. Or could this possibly be the effect of whatever EM is causing this fucking station to blow up?
I'm thinking because it doesn't look like actual camera footage. See, you can see they are taping the screen. That's what's causing that Moore effect.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can see the bottom of the TV now.
And look at the lights, red lights flashing off and on. That was happening at my house. This is 2 blocks from my house right here, Williams Boulevard. Let's go. This thing's surging all the way down the boulevard. This main wire.
What could be the game here? Now, could this be a hack attack? This could possibly be a hack attack, I think.
It could be. I can't eliminate that, but I think it would. You know, the first thing that comes to my mind is like something from a like a solar coronal discharge.
Right, but that begs the question: why didn't it happen on a larger scale? And why in New York and Louisiana? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't it affect more than just a handful? If it was some large ass solar discharge, why wouldn't it wipe out a whole shitload more? Maybe just these few. And then I was even kicking around the idea of let's
like
see,
we've got these magnetic field.
We've got these power plants and these transformer stations, and they all got to get parts, right? They all got to get parts from somewhere to fix their shit, right? So maybe there was a bad batch of some shit, and they all failed around the same time. I don't fucking know, man. Look, the possibilities are endless. I suspect
that would take a massive power surge to make that happen, though.
Do you suspect foul play? I think at this point I do, because for me, if it was a solar event, I feel like it would have happened on a very larger scale.
Yeah, I would think so too. But then you got to think the way the Earth's magnetic field works. It could just be like
a weak hole in it, or
something. A weak point in the Earth's magnetic field to where it becomes a very localized phenomenon.
I mean, if it was something nefarious behind it, what could be the agenda? I mean, because you're not wiping out fucking electric for everyone because you only hit a couple stations.
Unless, where was this? It says over Louisiana, but it doesn't say where in Louisiana.
Here, I got it.
Because I think that could be very relevant to where this happened.
Over Kenner, Louisiana. So let's get on that. Kenner,
so
Louisiana.
What black projects are taking place in Kenner, Louisiana? I know there was a LIGO observatory somewhere.
We got this on the screen, dude?
Yep.
Yes, we do.
All right. Kenner, Louisiana. Bayou. Okay, so where is it's right near New Orleans, bro.
Yeah. So who knows? Could be all good. Hell, it could have been spirits, man.
Well, there's a lot of
all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot of oil refinery type shit around here too, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, and most of what's like down here, like south of the wildlife management areas, is like borderline underwater right now. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff you have to take a boat to get to, if it's even still there at all.
And obviously the other one was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's a funny thing. Now this video popped up.
And this is actually something from.
All right, let's take a look at this.
I won't spoil it. I mean, that looks like New York with all the shit going off.
Okay, so this is New York with all the shit going off, like you just said, with the electric. But now the point of contention is these lights, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so these lights, it very well could be a reflection. Don't you feel like that could be a reflection?
Of what though?
Christmas tree lights. Well, no, they're not colored. Well, I guess they wouldn't necessarily.
I mean, it definitely looks like something on fire floating in the sky.
It does. But here's another thing, okay? Nobody reported this. This video just popped up out of nowhere, like, oh.
See, because notice there's another one off in the distance. Another little fireball.
Another little 3.
Yeah.
Let's watch it some more. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't it, like, the camera jump? Shouldn't that have, like, changed the positioning of it if it was a reflection?
Yeah,
you see how it jumped and it still stayed over there, like
yeah.
It would have changed it. It would have changed the reflection. Okay, so
what the fuck is that?
CG then, because like this could be easily a video of someone videotaping the blue shit. Look, because the blue shit is almost perfectly center, right?
Yeah.
They're not looking. Obviously, if you're seeing this picture, what would you focus on first?
The blue.
The blue?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be focused on the big.
Really.
I don't know, man. To me,
I mean, the fire sticks out, but
to me, it looks like the dragon from the Zelda game, Breath of the Wild. Like when you run around in Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
that's totally the dragon. I don't know. I don't think it's real because nobody reported it. And yeah, did you hear anybody talking about like I saw all these lights in the sky at the same time?
Nope. But I mean, you know, I'm spending 40+ hours a week at work, so it's not like I have, you know, all day to crawl the web for UFO reports.
So like, look, see this thing when it's dark out, right, in the game, when it's real dark and it's far away up in the sky, it looks just like that. This game is fucking awesome, by the way. This is why we haven't had a show, because I've been playing this game right here. It's the fucking shit. No, seriously though, I've been sick. That's why we haven't had a show.
Well, if you're gonna be sick, you might as well do something fun while you're getting better, right?
Damn right. So yeah, I mean, real phenomena here. Definitely electrical stations blowing up, right? See, I'm hearing a loud humming sound inside my room. The sound is not coming from anywhere inside my house. I checked everything as if it's being beamed from somewhere in the sky above my house. That's what it sounds like, dude. I'm telling you, man, it happened right up the street. It sounds just like easy crackling, like you would imagine a wild fucking electrical cable just flopping around. That's what it sounds like, man. It's humming and it's loud and it's crackling. It's intense, dude. I didn't know what the hell was going on when I saw. I walked out from what the fuck, and all the power went out too, obviously, because it was right there. So we're all like, and then I walked up the street, man, and the fire department got there and everything is just pouring out of it. Fucking crazy, dude. So what we got up next on the UFO dockets?
Let's see.
I definitely want to talk about that pyramid shit.
Yeah, let's go there.
And Wookie Dunn sent me the link for the Russian one. I don't know which one this was. This is like a November 18 wrap up. Sure, we could pick through that real quick. Where is it? Who am thou?
Olha o que apareceu no céu.
Oh, this is cool. Let's look at this one.
Olha aí. Alguém pode me explicar o que é isso? Estou aqui no APU e me deparo com esse fenômeno aí.
We can't understand you guys, sorry. We don't speak that one. So, it's just like a black thin circle.
Yeah, it looks like a cloaked ass Honabu.
Right, and it just is chilling, man. And this guy is more interested in like taking selfies than he is of the fucking thing in the sky. But it's important though that he did that, and I'm glad that he did because it shows you this right here. Okay. Oh, fucking goddamn it. It's later in the video. Oh my god, my computer's freaking out. It's freaking out. It's freaking out. Bet everything's frozen.
That's what you get for putting the internet games on there.
Come on, man. Are we broadcasting, man?
Yeah, are we?
Look on the YouTube, man.
Yeah, we are. No, we're still good.
All right, come on, Raul. We need you back. It's because Facebook. It's the videos on Facebook, and Facebook absolutely sucks at everything.
Yep.
I can't stand it.
You and your technical difficulties.
I need a jail bill.
You do.
Get out of here.
Yeah, just close it.
There's a helicopter? And there's people screaming. We need to watch this goddamn video, man. God damn it. You hear that? It's a helicopter. And there's people screaming. And they're like, what the fuck? And I can't get past Raul's selfie. Wow, this is awesome because I really am literally just
page unresponsive.
Froze on.
Wow, it's a.
Check it out. It's a reality brief first. We're gonna show the world the task manager.
Yep.
If it'll pop up.
Hey, we always got to break new ground, right?
If it'll pop up even.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's it. That's game shooter.
Well, I guess while you're doing that, I could talk about
doing what? Waiting.
Well, while we're waiting, we could talk about how the UN actually be a radio show for a little while, and talk about how the UN plans to implement everybody with a biometric ID tag by 2030.
What do you want to be a radio show for? Nobody listens to fucking radio.
What?
It's the truth, man.
You got people who are listening to us.
We're not the radio, though.
Yeah, we are.
All right, I think we got it.
We're internet radio.
It just disappeared.
Oh, yeah, you got it. You got it good.
You got it so good.
So the UN wants everyone to have a biometric identification tag by 2030, which is part of their global goals agenda. The UN is already working on. This is coming from amredeem.com, so take that with a grain of salt.
Amredeems. I got it, dude. I got it.
The UN is already working hard towards the implementation of this goal, particularly among refugee populations. The UN has partnered with Accenture to implement a biometric identification system that reports information back to a central database in Geneva. That's not menacing at all. So these new biometric identification cards will not just be for refugees. According to a different Find Biometrics report, authorities hope this kind of technology will enable them to achieve the UN's goal of having this kind of ID jammed into every person on the planet with a needle by the year 2030. The following comes from the official website of the World Bank, interestingly enough. Providing a legal identity for all, including birth registration, by 2030 is a target shared by the international community as part of the Sustainable Development Goals target, 16.9.
You gonna get the chip. You gonna get the chip and you. You gonna get the chip and you. You gonna get the chip.
So like the World Bank Group has launched the Identification for Development, ID4D, cross-practice initiative, with the participation of 7 GP/CCSAs, whatever that means. Sharing
lots of letters.
With more alphabet soup, sharing the same vision and strategic objectives to help our client countries achieve this goal, and with the vision of making everyone count. Ensure a unique legal identity and enable digital ID-based services to all. So, the World Bank wants to put a chip up your ass. And, of course, these guys don't really cite a source.
Chip up your ass. Of course not. What is it?
amredeemed.com.
Oh, some, like, Jesus site.
Yeah.
See?
So.
That's, you know.
Could be real.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it,
we'll do it live.
We don't know.
I'm not in a cult. All right, so I got this video now. Let's see if we can get it to play.
Olha o que apareceu no céu. Olha aí. Alguém pode me explicar o que é isso? Estou aqui no APU e me deparo com esse fenômeno aí, gente. Alô, você aí, estudiosos, cientistas, me explicam pra gente o que é isso, qual é esse fenômeno aí.
Isso aí, rapaz.
Me expliquem, eu tô aqui, ó. Eu vim aqui no APU, tô aqui no APU.
All right, you see the people, the lady over there in the yellow shirt and them kids?
Yeah.
They're all looking up in the sky at it too.
So
there's a point further along in the video where there's even more people saying they're looking up in the sky.
Yeah, don't you hate when you're just putting along and all of a sudden the cloak on your Hominids takes a shit?
Shh, I'm trying to hear what he's saying.
E aí tá crescendo. Hã? Alguém pode me dizer o que é isso? É o túnel do tempo?
Okay,
É o túnel do tempo, é? Eu acho que é.
Alright, Fishman says he knows something about this. What do you know, sir?
Hold on. Go ahead. Speak to the microphone, dear sir.
These things actually happen all over the world. Nobody knows where they come from, what the cause is, but these things do show up rather frequently across the world. South America, Asia, Africa, Russia. They do show up a lot more often than you would think.
Okay, so the screaming in the helicopters was another video. Good. At least there wasn't that. That would have been exciting. All right, what's next? We got
China building a secret antenna.
Oh, we were looking for the
pyramid. It's down at the bottom.
Shit, yeah. Mile wide UFO with multicolored lights.
Are we too good to take off the ones that we've already watched?
Dude, you know I don't do things. That's why I got you to click the boxes, man. Sorry. I'll work on it for my New Year's resolution. Click the boxes and then try out. Alien contact cover-up. Mysterious triangular aircraft spotted hovering. I hope this is the video with all the views, because there was several different camera angles. details in this thing. Okay, so the object in question is going to be here. God damn it, cameraman.
Could you hold the thing
right
still?
There. You see the triangle?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so now the debunkers are putting forth, from what I understand, that this is some sort of
a reflection,
beams of light intersecting somehow or some shit.
I mean, it looks like it could be a reflection or a lens flare.
But there are, and I don't know if this video hasn't, there are multiple angles from multiple different people of this same fucking thing at the same time.
That thing is pretty big.
So, lens flare, no.
It's also changing shape.
This has nothing to do with the camera, and I don't suspect that it's CGI because there's so many different... If it is CGI, it's a pretty elaborate hoax. Now, I thought that...
I mean, it's...
You remember that video with the helicopter and the UFOs and the water was the fisherman? It was like a cell phone video. And like totally legit, man. And the fighters and shit. That was a hoax.
Yeah.
So, I mean... People will go through some amazing lengths to do some shit like that. But what is it now? If we could say that this is not a hoax, which we can't really, what could that possibly be?
Well, it looks like it was all like zobbly, like not clear. Like
the other thing
like
about
it was like flitting in and out.
The other thing about it is, where is it? Hey, can you switch me real quick?
You got it.
You switch me? Switch me, show good? Okay, you're not showing the screen no more?
No.
Okay, I don't want to fucking show people private messages here. I need to get a link out of one. Here it is. Okay, this happened, you can switch it back. This happened over the Kremlin, I think, what was it, 9 years ago?
Oh, shit.
Same fucking thing.
I think this proves Russian collusion. It's definitely if there was the same UFO that was there over the Kremlin. Now Trump's in the White House, and we got the same UFO over the White House. Yep.
Я пришел дать эту песню.
So, you know, triangle, classic shape for a craft, right? Am I right? Am I right? Can I get an amen? Is a triangle not the classic shape for a craft?
Yeah, but not necessarily a pyramid. Like the
But see, that's not really a pyramid here, is it?
It kind of looks like it could be, because it looks like...
You don't think it could be a rotating triangle?
No, it looks like...
I guess it does, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
There's the point.
It's
There's
like
the point.
Yeah, it's like a D4.
So is this like a hatak?
I think it could be.
He's got, like, raw in there?
I mean, it looks like, you know, like a four-sided...
So is this like a shape... Is this like a failure of a cloak? Some kind of deal like that? Let's see if we can
It could be a
find...
four-dimensional object, and we're just seeing a three-dimensional slice of a four-dimensional object. You know what I mean?
Let's look, see if we can find some of those other angles I was telling you about. Here's one. Shout out to APAC Media. Thanks for letting us in this third phase of the moon stuff. Show this. And not yell at us. Thank you. Please.
Third phase moon, Blake Cousins with some breaking news here. What just happened over the Pentagon? December 19th, 2018. A massive pyramid hovers over the Pentagon. What are we looking at? We have multiple source videos proof that there's something going on. Take a look at this.
See, now the fact that they change windows, and it's still there, it is
right. And dude, these guys are like acting like, you know me, right? I'll pull over in a fucking heartbeat if we think we're seeing something, right?
Yeah.
What they did the other night, fucking, I would have parked, but these guys are making an effort to follow this fucking thing, man.
And it looks like at some personal risk too, because they are really close to the Pentagon.
Look back! Look back!
I got you.
See, yeah, look, he keeps changing windows, so that makes a
It's
case.
not a lens flare. It's not, because it's in two different cameras.
Turn right,
anyway.
turn right, turn right! You see?
See, that's some shit we would do right there, right?
Pull over, pull over, pull over!
Can it be like an ancient god? You know,
Here's the thing. The conversation.
See, like, you can see the reflection of their cell phones.
Yeah, you can see the reflections in the windows and stuff, but
Slow
it's not
down.
that triangle. That is not a reflection.
What? It's gone. I don't see it. Man, do you see it?
Captured by David Wilson. We'll be supplying the original links below. He's driving on the car along the Pentagon, and he was able to capture something amazing.
Pretty far out, man.
What is it?
Maybe we check this one out.
Almost CGI. Pyramids flying over Egypt and Giza, but this is no joke. This is no CGI. With the two videos, it confirms that there is something massive, and right now we want to know what the Pentagon has to say about this. This is so suspicious.
Yeah, I like the way these guys both took the effort to actually get in closer. There are actually
some brightness, contrast. We're gonna try to
See, why
sharpen
don't we
it up
do
a
shit
bit,
like that?
try
Why
and
don't
get
we
a
find
better
people that videotape shit like this and get them on the show?
I mean, you know.
Look, but right now,
Well,
this
maybe after we expand our staff,
massive
that could happen.
pyramid-shaped craft. Is it in regards to a possible false flag alien invasion, or are they already here? Is this
Yeah,
some
maybe
kind of
they're
alien craft?
experimenting with creating holograms
Looking
over the
Pentagon.
city using
Look, that was what
using water vapor in the atmosphere because it looks pretty cloudy.
We're gonna play the videos again for you guys to look at
Stop
very
it.
closely. Let us know if you see anything suspicious. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody.
It's
Things are
doing it
going
again,
down.
Dan. I hate it.
What's it doing?
It was freezing because of Facebook.
Close Facebook. We don't. Yeah. There you go. Problem solved.
Stupid. So yeah, I mean, let's. It doesn't a pyramid ship. Okay, have we heard any tales of pyramid ships? I mean, outside of Stargate.
Yeah. I mean, there were. I've heard sightings of pyramid-shaped craft over Egypt.
Right. Those were CGI though.
Yeah. Well, but maybe there were some that weren't. I mean,
all right. So you think it's like landing pads, like Stargate style?
Well, I think immediately the first thought that comes to my mind is that it's a four-dimensional object, and all we're seeing is a three-dimensional slice.
I'm kind of feeling like
four-dimensional
exactly
object.
like that's phasing in from somewhere else, like not necessarily of our plane of existence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe they're having some type of interdimensional contact at the Pentagon and the Kremlin and wherever else this may fucking happen. Because hey, could have happened somewhere else. We just didn't know.
Yeah,
we didn't see that. We didn't get that YouTube video because it got burned.
Yep. So, I mean, who knows? It could be, but yeah, the fact that one side of it's light and one side of it's dark, like, suggests a very large object. And,
yeah. And it does look like in the one video, it looks like it was phasing in and out. Yeah, so, like, it would suggest, I think, a cloak failing or an actual dimensional phase.
What's up?
In one of those videos, it looked like it was straight up just changing shape.
Yeah?
Yeah. Went from like the pyramid to a diamond to a heart, then back to a pyramid.
That's why I'm thinking, because, okay,
Some
do you ever
people
hear,
believe that
you ever hear Carl Sagan describe flatland?
No.
It's a thing that he talks about in Carl Sagan's Cosmos. It's a thing that he talks about where he describes what happens when a two-dimensional universe is... Wow.
Look, this is like a random UFO like clip show that we got posted in our group. Did you guys see that fucking shit? It wasn't even trying. Okay, it's a jet. Oh, his wheels fell off.
Shitty.
What the fuck is this? Look now, TV. You're a fall hunt. You look now.
I mean,
TV.
the cat's cute.
Look, subscribe to me. Look now. I got a cat too and a cool haircut. Look at my beard. His beard is nowhere near as cool as ours. Get out of here. What the hell, man?
That looks like a cute kitty, though.
We got UFO videos yet?
So yeah, so Carl Sagan is describing Flatland, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a two-dimensional universe being visited by a three-dimensional object. In this case, the three-dimensional object is an apple. And all the Flatlanders can see of it, since their universe is two-dimensional. They can see a two-dimensional slice of the apple phasing through their reality. And at first it looks like, 2 or 3 separate points on the horizon. and then they merge together and turn into a big line. And then as the apple slides through the two-dimensional plane, the line gets smaller and smaller until it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So all the Flatlanders can see of the apple at any given time is a two-dimensional slice. So if a four-dimensional object...
Look at our logo.
Yeah. So if a four-dimensional object, like that Tesseract in our logo, were able to phase through our dimension, then all we would see of it is at a given time.
Look, it's a balloon.
It's a
my
bird.
God, we're being invaded by balloons.
It's a hawk. Or a Mylar A. What's it? But no, so all we'd be able to see in our dimension is Solar Warden ships. Is, a three-dimensional shadow of a four-dimensional object, a slice at a time, if you will.
I can't believe there's actually something shining on the Earth.
Oh my God.
We're not This video is really not very good, man.
No,
it's perfect
not.
for our show. Look at that!
No, it's not. You should just skip this.
Look at that! Oh,
It's a
Jesus
cloud.
Christ, man.
Goddamn clouds! Old man yells at cloud.
This is that Louisiana video.
Yeah, we saw this.
I think it got put in there like 15 times.
I think you did. I don't think. And
I was drunk.
hey, we're back.
I was drunk. Hey.
Never do show prep while you're drunk, kids.
Mhm. Man, I think we actually might be out of those.
So we can go on to talking about how China has started building a secret antenna 5 times the New York City.
Yes! 5 times the size.
That's pretty big. So yeah, China has finished building a secret antenna 5 times the size of New York City after 13 years, amid fears that its radio waves could cause cancer and communicate with submarines. Extremely
What
low.
a combo.
I know, right? Extremely low frequency radio waves, ELF waves made by the machine. Experimental radio antenna is rumored to have taken 13 years to finish. The exact
Those
location
ELF
remains a
waves-
mystery, even to the researchers.
Those ELF waves are used for mind control, man.
Yep. World Health Organization claims that ELF affects human nerves and stimulates synaptic transmissions. It also previously revealed that ELF waves are possibly carcinogenic to humans.
So, China has made a mind control antenna bigger than New York City?
Yep. And it will be emitted, the extremely low frequency waves will be emitted by the machine.
Well?
Which will send messages to subs hundreds of meters underwater. The wireless electromagnetic method project is officially pegged for use on earthquake and mineral detection, but has clear potential applications for the military. China has been hotly pursuing ELF technology for some time, and the facility, which sits on a 1,400 square mile patch of land, is the culmination of the technology. Project WEM is made of a pair of high voltage power supply lines, and they crisscross 100 kilometer by 60 kilometer steel lattice across the region. Each power line is finished with an underground hole to 2 power stations and generators that electrify the ground. So this process produces electromagnetic radiation capable of passing thousands of miles through the air or through the Earth's crust. It's estimated that the machine has a 3,500 kilometer range, and signals closer to the source would be stronger than those received further away.
That's some shit, man.
Yeah. A department from the World Health Organization has previously revealed that these waves are possibly carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization claims that the field affects human nerves and synaptic transmissions. It's also believed to alter retina cells by generating a flash of light. Here we are with those phosphor flashes. So China's going to.
Is it just me or do those Chinese subs look like cardboard cutouts?
No, they look pretty real to me. They're all Vanta black, so you can't see.
Yeah, no, they look completely flat.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can tell that there's contour there, but you can't really see the contour.
Yeah, that's the idea. So that's the ELF signals will be produced at a frequency between 0.1 and 30 hertz, and may be detectable to vessels submerged hundreds of meters below the waves.
Well, what the fuck? Why not? Why not have a mind control antenna 5 times the size of New York City?
I mean, you know, hey, if you can, why not, right? Chinese authorities have released the exact location, or have not released the exact location of the facility to the public.
You don't say.
It's believed to be in the Huazhong region, an area in central China that includes Hubei, Hainan, and Hunan provinces. One researcher who's involved with the project from the Institute of Geology, China Earthquake Administration, told South China Morning Post, "This facility will have important military uses if a war breaks out. Though I am involved in the project, I have no idea where it is. It should be up and running by now." The project is believed to build on the earlier success of another similar project, which was finished in 2009. So this isn't the first one of these things. The first military-grade super low-frequency transmission station was finished in 2009, and it was able to communicate with a sub a year later. Okay, so what we have now, folks, is proof that reptilians can't drink Earth alcohol.
You know what? That felt good. That felt good. For real? Are you kidding? That felt good. 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 That felt good.
So good. It gets me every fucking time. Without fail. So good.
So yeah, now you know. Reptilians cannot handle Earth alcohol.
Speaking of reptilians.
That's how we find out. That's how, if you suspect that somebody's a Draco, give him a shot of whiskey.
Hey, speaking of reptilians, a group of Mark Zuckerberg-funded researchers is testing implantable brain devices as part of a $5 billion quest to end disease. To end disease. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what's in mind. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that Zuck does not want to control your brain.
So, Mr. Zuckfuck has sold close to 30 million shares of Facebook to fund an ambitious biomedical research project called the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, with the goal of curing all disease within a generation.
Which that Draco guy could fucking do something.
You know how they cure all disease within a generation? Vaccines that make everybody sterile.
Well, you didn't say I couldn't wipe out the computer.
If there's no people left, you don't need to cure anyone. A less publicized initiative related to the $5 billion program includes work on brain-machine interfaces, devices that essentially translate thoughts into commands. One recent project is a wireless brain implant that can record, stimulate, and disrupt the movement of monkey in real time. In a paper published in the highly cited scientific journal Nature on New Year's Eve, researchers detail a wireless brain device implanted into a primate that records, stimulates, and modifies its brain activity in real time, sensing a normal movement and stopping it immediately. One of those researchers is an investigator with the Chan Zuckerberg Biohub. It sounds so pleasant. The Chan Zuckerberg Biohub, a non-profit medical research group related to Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Scientists refer to the interference as therapy.
Holy shit. Like,
I'm not even making this shit up.
American Horror Story couldn't write shit this good.
Scientists refer to the interference as therapy because it is designed to be used to treat diseases like epilepsy or Parkinson's by stopping a seizure or other disruptive motion as it starts. It's not really stopping a seizure, it's just stopping you from flopping around while you're having a seizure, correct?
Yeah, so it's like an internalized seizure.
It's a brain seizure, if you will. Our device is able to monitor the brain while it's providing the therapy, so you know exactly what's happening, real time. Ricky Muller, a co-author of the new study, told Business Insider, a professor of computer science and engineering at UC Berkeley. Muller is also a CZ Biohub investigator.
Fucking Berkeley.
The applications of brain-machine interfaces are far-reaching. While some researchers focus on using them to help assist people with spinal cord injuries or other illnesses that affect movement, others aim to see them transform how everyone interacts with laptop smartphones. Both a division at Facebook, formerly called Building 8, as well as an Elon Musk-founded company. You know, whoa, what is this Building 8 now at Facebook, man? I gotta fucking know what the fuck Building 8
sounds
is.
like
That is like saying Hangar 18,
it's
Area 51, you know, like fucking Building 8 at Facebook.
Is that a shout out to Building 7?
Neuralink. Mueller said her research at the BioHub is walled off from other work on brain-computer interfaces being done at Facebook. Oh, so it's not the only one. The company's notoriously secretive Building 8 program. I'm telling you, man, this is the real story. It sounds like
our entire next episode is
the
going to be
real
on
story
Building
here
8.
is Building 8. All right, Building 8. Program underwent a recent reshuffling that included killing off the Building 8 label. Buildings do not commit suicide.
As well as the staff.
Google WTC7. And shifting its experimental projects to new divisions. Earlier this year, Business Insider exclusively reported that program's director had helped create an armband that transformed words into understandable vibrations.
It's like a little blue armband with a white circle with the Facebook F on it.
It took me a second to process what you just said, man.
Wait, you guys are Nazis.
Whoa. So there art y'all have it.
So yeah, so do you think having your mind controlled by the Zuck is going to end disease? You better hope so. And yeah, so
what about this Vegas? How much time we got?
Enough time for that.
All right, let's check out this Vegas thing, man. Laura Loomer.
Yeah, you remember this guy?
Yeah. Oh, hey, buddy. No, I don't want latest updates. So this dude, the guy who allegedly shot up the what was it, a country music concert?
Yeah.
Laura Loomer. Who is Laura Loomer?
I've heard that name before.
Continued to dig for more information about the cover-up following the Harvest 91 massacre. Just 10 days after the carnage had been perpetrated on concertgoers, Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo began changing the official story. The mainstream propaganda media either ignored the new facts or called those who were reporting the significance of the changing narrative conspiracy theorists. Here was our take on October 11, 2017. As you might expect, the video-audio evidence we presented has since been scrubbed by YouTube. Immediately following the shooting, we reviewed various eyewitness videos that have been posted to Facebook that call into question the presence of at least one additional shooter, and I think we did that same shit on the show.
I'm pretty sure we did.
By November 2nd.
Because I remember calling into question the presence of at least one additional shooter. Didn't somebody say something about a helicopter that was shooting at people?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah. I remember that shit.
But I know it was right next to an airport.
Yeah.
For showing. 2 months later, on January 14, 2018, the then newly unsealed affidavits to the U.S. District Court in Nevada showed that the FBI knew, or at least strongly suspected, that the plot was more extensive than we were being told. All this time, the mainstream propaganda media was silent. And all this while, the tech giants were purging or seriously constraining the reach of conservative websites that dared to ask questions and put two and two together. Whew. I can't read this no more, Dan.
Yep. Yeah.
You're going to have to read the rest of this.
Let's see. Let's just read what was written on lauraloomer.us. All it says is, documents revealed or released on Thursday from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department point to multiple shooters and a contaminated crime scene in an already controversial investigation into the Las Vegas shooting a year ago. The LVMPD released 18 voluntary statements made by officers who responded to the shooting in Las Vegas October 1st, 2017. One of the documents that stood out was the sworn statement of Sergeant William Matchko, P8525, document number 11, in which he states that the police knew of multiple shooters who they planned to wiretap after they discovered Stephen Paddock's dead body in a suspected suicide. In what is a routine procedure, officers are often asked to give a statement very soon after an event, commonly referred to as a witness officer interview. Machko's interview was conducted by the LVMPD Forced Investigation Team on October 3rd, 2017 at 6:40 p.m., just 2 days after the shooting. Machko's memory of the events was still freshly ingrained in his mind.
You're reaching.
Machko stated that due to the fact that the blood coming from the shooter's head was coagulated, he immediately realized that the alleged Vegas shooter, Stephen Paddock, had been dead for a long time prior to SWAT entering the room. Miss Loomer did the heavy lifting here, and I will not steal her work. Please go to her website, and there's a link below to read all the official documents. So we will post that link in the Reality Brief group at some point tonight. And man, Don, we still.
I think I got it from the Reality Brief group. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think most of the stuff that we talked about tonight came from people posting shit on it.
Well, it probably did. So
thank you guys. You're the
thanks.
greatest.
Yep. So it'll be recursive shit posting, which is definitely breaking new ground. And yeah, Tess is absolutely right. See,
we are working
great
on
minds think alike. We've got to save that and add that as a soundboard clip. That.
Oh god.
That shit's great. So,
oh Laura,
we've talked about USOs here on the show before, not UFOs, but USOs.
The truth is there.
The truth is down there. This is coming from the sun. It's down in the Earth section. The U.S. Navy is running top secret program to detect alien spacecraft under the ocean, UFO expert claims. Leading astronomer and ufologist Mark D'Antonio says that he witnessed a USO, an unidentified submerged object, while aboard a Navy sub in the North Atlantic. Now, why would this gentleman be aboard a Navy sub? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. Let's get a look at him. He kind of looks like the dude. What's his name? Goldblum. The dude. Remember, he's in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So
the U.S. like his uncle.
The U.S. Navy is running a top-secret program to detect unidentified submerged objects beneath the sea, according to a UFO expert. Mark D'Antonio, an astronomer and a chief video analyst for the UFO organization MUFON, said he witnessed what he believes must have been an alien craft, traveling at impossible speeds while he was on board a U.S. Navy submarine in the North Atlantic.
Not impossible speeds.
Mark then heard a naval officer ordering the sonar operator to log the unidentified object, which was traveling at several hundred knots as part of the Fast Mover program. So currently most submarines and torpedoes can only go up to about 40 knots due to the resistance of the water. The Russians have reportedly built a submarine that can go in excess of 200 knots. A speed of several hundred knots would appear to be impossible for human-built craft. But Mark, who runs a special effects company called FX Models, that undertakes naval contracts, said, as a thank you for doing some work for the Navy, as a thank you for doing some work for them, the Navy asked me if I wanted to go for a ride in a submarine, so I said yes. Once we got under, I was sitting in the sonar station. The sonar operator was sitting right next to me.
Check out the dramatic
That's a very serious stare.
It's a dramatic reenaction.
1,000-yard stare.
Right now I'm seeing UFOs. If you look at the reflection, you can clearly see it's a triangle.
I get the impression of REM's "Everybody Hurts" playing in the background. So, submarines are loud. People think they're very quiet.
Edgelord. Should have just said it.
People think they're very quiet. And it's true they are on the outside because the sound doesn't get out, but inside you hear the fans, the noise. It's a constant din on a sub. So he said I was sitting there zoning out a little because I was seasick, and all of a sudden the sonar kid shouts, fast mover," and I'm jolted awake. And he's like, what's happening? Is it a torpedo? The executive officer comes out, and the operator shows him the path of the object. And the officer says, "How fast is that going?" And the kid says, "Several hundred knots." I start to lean forward to listen in, and the officer says, "Can you confirm it?"
Sounds like you're telling a joke.
No, so
the kid says.
It sounds like something out of Star Trek. Like it really does.
This guy is not happy with that assessment.
So he can't. No, he's not. And when he asks, "Can you tell me more about the Fast Mover program?" they go look at him and say, "Sorry, Mark, I can't talk about that program."
That guy's face says,
but for real, man, getting a couple steps ahead of you here. What the fuck is that? Chinese ship spotted carrying
a big old
terrifying next generation hypersonic gun. Is that like a railgun?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or is that a plasma blaster?
Could be both. Why not both?
Or is that like an AC unit and they're just like, ha ha ha, secret weapon?
Hey, our boy here, Mark, says he made the claims at the Devil's Tower UFO rendezvous in Hewlett, Wyoming, where UFO enthusiasts from around America met at the site of Close Encounters of the Third Kind to discuss alien-related findings. So, yeah, that sounds like something I wouldn't mind going to check out. He also runs the Sky Tour live stream channel YouTube, where he takes viewers on live tours of the night sky. So, hey, maybe Mark knows what's up, man. I mean,
hey, man, he's definitely got the look of someone who knows what's up. I mean, look at that tie.
Yep. You want to play the mysterious, eerie sounds picked up in Antarctica? You know you do.
Okay.
You know you do. You love mysterious, eerie sounds.
We got 1 minute left, so we'll do
especially if it's an eerie sound like
Let's just get sued for these sounds.
It sounds like the thing from Pitch Black. They're eerie enough without you fucking with them. It sounds like somebody, like a bowl of Rice Krispies.
It's one of these, dude, I'm telling you. Huh.
Well, and we could close out with this is the last thing I really want to touch on. And since we're already talking about Antarctica stuff, they just drilled through thousands of feet of ice into a lost Antarctic lake, and it's only the second time it's ever been done. What was the first one? Lake Vostok. So Antarctica's got a new hole, and it's more than a kilometer, just under 4,000 feet deep, barely a handspan or two in width. Ends in a body of water called Lake Mercer. It's what's called a lost lake. It exists deep below the ice, making it inaccessible to usual experiments. But researchers can now dip into this lost lake and conduct experiments that tell us about the geology and hydrology of a hidden subglacial world. Maybe even find a unique species or two along the way. It was a celebratory moment for the members of SALSA, Subglacial Antarctic Lakes Scientific Access Program. Started just drilling on the evening of December 23rd. So it only took them 3 days. Reached their goal at a precise depth of 1,084 meters. And all this sounds a little familiar. Scientists also boiled through 800 meters, about 2,600 feet of ice in 2013 to reach a blister of water called Lake Willans. At around the same time, Russian scientists came within a hair's breadth of the 4-kilometer deep Lake Vostok, capturing some of its icy surface water before allowing the hole to freeze shut. The previous year, it really does sound like the things from Pitch Black. Yeah, it sounds like a Geiger counter.
It sounds like a badass synth.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, well, that's enough of your bullshit this week.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, we still got that whole thing about the...
It's 10:03, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week, and thanks once again for watching us and sticking around as we act like imbeciles.
Yep. Good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are. Let's see, who do you know? Yeah, I think that in the new year, part of a new tradition, I think when we close out the show, we should give a special thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. So,
Yeah, special thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. And it's way too many to get into because we'd be here all goddamn night. But it's a lot of you, and you know who you are, and thank you. See you next week.